What's good, YouTube? It's me, your boy Squiddy, again with another one of the videos. And today I just want to make a quick little video about some of the other staples you can craft. These ones are not obviously like staple, but they do come in and out of the meta, especially if they do implement a side deck into like this game where we can side deck in the best 2 of 3 games. So yeah, just really quickly, mostly hand traps. First and foremost, the Psi Frame stuff, Psi Frame Gear Gamma. Obviously, when you don't control a monster, you can activate this effect to negate a monster effect controlled by your opponent and also destroy the monster. And you special summon this Gamma and the driver from your deck, so really good. It is semi-limited in this game, but I think once they bring the TCG list, it'll obviously be at 3. So yeah, definitely a good option, and it's only super rare again. Anything super rare is super good because I find like super rare you get like a lot more in abundance as opposed to the ultra rares, and you just have more like resources to craft them. Same thing with DD Crow, you can banish a card from your opponent's graveyard during either player's turn, so that's really good because Yu-Gi-Oh is super graveyard dependent. I also put Maxi on here. The reason why it's not in like the absolute stable is because we don't know if they're gonna bring the TCG list here. If they do, the Maxis are going to be banned, which is just like a waste of resources to craft them. Obviously, if they don't, or like, for the next couple of weeks, this card is just insane. It's probably the #1 staple next Dash Blossom in the game. But I'm just saying, like, for now, it's definitely like a secondary option, at least for me, since I'm trying to be like super free to play because I don't want to spend my resources and sink them into this. But I imagine at one point in the rankings, if you get high enough, you'll definitely need this card to play, at least for now until it gets banned. Ghost Spell is a reverse of Ash. It's kind of like Ash, except instead of the deck, it interacts with your grave. So anytime your opponent activates anything that interacts with their graveyard, to banish from the graveyard, add a card from the graveyard, special summon, you can discard this card to negate it. Obviously, it doesn't stop cost like Tri-Brigade banishing, but it comes in and out of the meta. It's definitely a good side deck card. Same thing with Skullmeister. Instead of another card interacting with the graveyard, what it does is when your opponent activates a card effect in their graveyard, you can discard this card to negate it. So it's really useful, against a lot of things. Even against Sky Striker, you can stop Ray or whatever. Lancia, obviously, during your opponent's turn, you can discard this card from your hand. Neither player can banish for the rest of the turn. There's so many decks that banish, like Tri-Brigade or like Floowandereeze when they come out, obviously. So this card just stops a lot of it. Even Phantom Knights, it stops. Other thing, I put Heartbeat's Feather Duster here, destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls, because it's not really a good option in today's metagame. It's only good against certain decks. Some decks don't, like combo decks, they don't even play spell and traps, like besides like Imperm. So this card's good. It's definitely a lot better going second because going first doesn't really do anything. Your opponent doesn't have any sets. Foolish Burial is another one. It's basically in like almost every deck except for a few. So maybe this could even be like one of the first staples you want to build, but it's still kind of like deck dependent. Send a monster from your deck graveyard. Obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh is just like pure graveyard. Same thing with Terraforming. Add 1 field spell from your deck to hand. A lot of broken field spells in this game. I'm so glad they have mine banned at least. But yeah, this is also like in the same vein of Foolish Burial, where it's basically in every other deck. Twin Twisters I actually put here after Cosmic because Cosmic Cyclone is like the #1 because it's 1 for 1. You don't really have to discard any resources to do. But Twin is obviously a really good side deck card against back row decks. Again, you discard a card, destroy teacher spells and traps. And then I put Called by the Grave and also Crossout Designator. These cards are actually like super insane, especially in like this current ban list format because like Maxi's in there and there's so many hand traps like Ash. This stops like Ash, it stops Maxi. Yeah, just super good cards. Basically hand trap stoppers. And also like, when Phoenix Enforcer comes out, this also like interacts with that. So yeah, some other options. Unfortunately, they are ultra. Evenly matched is only super rare, which is nice. At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make them banish until they control only 1. So yeah, obviously like it punishes a lot of noobs at like lower ranks. You just like, if you're going second, you purely just drop this card and usually the game is over. Definitely a good side deck option there. And then obviously the Solemns, which are ultra rare. Go figure. Like Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike, really good cards. Meta dependent. They're better in trap decks or if you're going first, especially Strike. I would say Strike obviously is a lot better than Judgment just because Judgment can't stop a lot of things like effects that activate in hand, for example. But Strike, you can also like go second. Sometimes it still comes up. You just set like a Golden Match and a Strike. Like you can Golden Match to try and negate, and then you Strike and destroy whatever monster's trying to negate. So yeah, Strike I would say better. Red Reboot, similar to Twin Twister, you're going second card against trap decks. When your opponent activates trap card, you negate the activation by paying half your life points, and then they set that card face down, and they can't use traps for this turn. So yeah, if you're playing a combo deck, you literally just kill them in that turn, so it doesn't matter what they set. And then of course Superior Order, which should probably and will probably get banned. Negate all spell cards on the field, and then you pay 700, but it doesn't matter because you're negating your opponents from playing spells when you have a board and you win. Yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any other, I'm sure there's tons of other options, but yeah, let me know what I missed.